Spyro the Dragon was a massive part of my childhood. The same can be said for millions of other people all over the world. And thanks to the reignited trilogy from Toys for Bob, it'll hopefully carry the same memories I have for a whole new generation. But when I say Spyro was a massive part of my childhood, I'm of course talking about the original trilogy, made by Insomniac Games from 1998 to the Year of the Dragon in 2000. However, while Spyro continued his legacy, for better or for worse, it wasn't continued by his creator Insomniac, and the high-quality, memorable home console experience the original trilogy had brought us was all but gone. In 2002, we would see our first home console Spyro title since Insomniac's Year of the Dragon, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, co-developed by Check 6 Studios and Equinox Digital Entertainment. And fittingly, this would be the only game they developed before they shut down. This title was published by Universal Interactive Studios, and it has been stated that Check 6 had difficulty paying their developers, and Universal had pressured them to finish the game before Christmas of 2002. This caused the game to be rushed, unfortunately, littering the game with numerous bugs and glitches. One glitch in particular allows for the game to be beaten with ease in just over a minute. Welcome to Speedrunning Simplified, the show where I, a longtime speedrunning fan but new speedrunner myself, learn to speedrun various games, so you don't have to, breaking down how each speedrun is performed, then putting what I learned to the test by trying it out for myself. Today, we're gonna be learning about the Spyro game that can be easily beaten by anybody in 1 minute. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly's any percent route, if you even want to call it a route. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Shigeru Miyamoto. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly was first released in November of 2002 for the PlayStation 2 and GameCube, and as I mentioned, the game was rushed to completion for the holiday season. While Enter the Dragonfly was not developed by Insomniac, it was intended to be a sequel to Year of the Dragon and be the fourth mainline Spyro title. In Year of the Dragon, once you collect all the skill points and fully complete the game, you can view an epilogue, taking a look back on the characters you've met, seeing how the world has progressed since Spyro's journey concluded. One of these pages reveals that Nasty Nork and Ripto, the villains of Spyro 1 and 2, held a summit to discuss the Spyro problem. This makes for a great point of interest to continue the series with, and that's exactly what Enter the Dragonfly had intended to do. However, because of the time crunch, an extremely large amount of content was cut from the game. The game was intended to have 120 dragonflies to save, 25 levels, and have Nasty Nork appear as one of the main villains. But in the, in quotes, finished product, there were only 90 dragonflies, 9 levels, and Nasty Nork's appearance had been reduced to a brief mention by Ripto at the opening cutscene. This game is really bad. Ted Price, the president of Insomniac Games, even spoke out about how bad he found the game to be, stating in an interview, "Spyro has become an abused stepchild. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly on PS2 and GameCube was an absolute travesty." So with the game being incredibly short, having issues with controls, collision detection, frame drops, horrible sound mixing, you name it, you can probably imagine how a speedrun of this game would go. Well, because of all of the cut content, the final boss's lair is situated only about 5 seconds away from the start of the game, and it just so happens to have a bit of that poor collision detection I mentioned, allowing for the player to very easily head bash through the floor in a specific spot, entering the final boss fight within 10 seconds. If you're quick enough. The world record, which was set almost 8 years ago on April 9th, 2014 by runner Omega Galax, enters the lair under 10 seconds and finishes the game in 1 minute and 7 seconds. Actually, you can't make this up. The record that stood for almost 8 years has been broken while writing this script. On March 22nd, 2022, runner Groink beat the world record by just over 2/100ths of a second with the first ever 106. This is a Spyro game, a beloved franchise reduced to a complete joke. Don't rush game developers. This is the perfect speedrunning topic for April 1st. It genuinely sounds like a joke if you haven't heard of this before, but I assure you, while the game may be a joke, the speedrun is not. Let me show you exactly what a Spyro Enter the Dragonfly speedrun looks in the any percent category by doing it for myself. So while I do like to poke fun at this game, I do want to say there are a lot of people that speedrun this game seriously and have built a wonderful community around it. They are very nice and welcoming and helped me understand this game when I started looking into how it works. The Spyro speedrunning community has an awesome Discord server that I highly recommend checking out if you want to learn how to speedrun any kind of Spyro game. And I wanted to give a huge thanks to runner First Maple for helping me with questions I had about Enter the Dragonfly. There are a few things worth noting before starting speedruns of this game. First of all, not having a memory card inserted into your system will be a bit faster than having one inserted. Time starts as soon as you gain control of Spyro, and it ends when the camera transitions after dealing the final hit to Ripto. Funnily enough, however, on my very first run, I died as soon as I dealt the final blow, and this camera transition never happened, but the credits still played. Very well designed video game. And lastly, if you go into the settings, you can turn off hints. These are bits of dialogue that pop up, slowing the player down. The game will save hints being turned off until you turn the console off. From there, speedruns of this game couldn't be more simple. As soon as you gain control of Spyro, you charge a bit towards the left and jump over the river, heading to the portal base in the ground. There's a specific spot you can head bash here to clip right into Ripto's lair. By lining up on the edge of the portal around this spot and getting as close to the edge as possible, it isn't too difficult to get consistently. From here, all you have to do is defeat Ripto. If you play through the game normally, Ripto would have 3 different phases, using the different breath power-ups that you get from progressing through the world. However, by entering the fight early, you only have to fight the first phase, and it's really straightforward. There are hardly any invincibility frames, so if you get hit, you're probably toast. You can charge around the lair, flaming his ice shield before he can attack, and once it is dropped, you can flame him 3 times. It's really as simple as that. I finished a run on my very first attempt with an unknown time. As I mentioned earlier, on my first run I died, so I never got the camera transition runs normally end on. But with no practice or experience whatsoever, I finished a run in just about 2 minutes. The ice shield can make the game lag really bad, and sometimes Ripto will just stall out and not charge to a new spot at all, wasting a ton of time. Throughout the night of learning the game, I did 50 run attempts and finished 17 of them, resetting when I didn't clip quick enough or just not having a good Ripto fight. And I was able to get down to a time of 1 minute and 21 seconds. Even though the game is really frustrating, it was definitely fun messing around with it for a little bit. If you have the game, it might be worth giving it a shot. I'm confident anybody watching this can beat the game in under 2 minutes in no time. This was quite the experience. I actually drove over an hour just to buy this game for this video. 20 bucks. Can you believe that for this? If you did enjoy it, it would mean a lot to me if you left a like and let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. I love Spyro speedrunning, specifically the original trilogy. They're actually the first games I ever learned how to speedrun before I started this channel. I'm looking forward to covering those on the channel in the future. I'd love to have you join me on this journey by subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you at the finish line of my next world record. I'm so stupid. That's fine. Oh wait, the run actually finishes. So even though I died, okay, I'll have to retime that. What a joke of a video game. That's wild. That's genuinely fucking stupid.